Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to HG Radio, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. Here is your co-founder and host, Kim Becker.
Hello, gorgeous, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and this is Hello, Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. This episode is brought to you by Amplified Marketing Group. They specialize in affordable mobile solutions that will get you noticed and help you retain customers. Check them out at yourphoneguy.com. Our guest today is Gayle FULBRIGHT, owner of Headlines the Salon. Gayle has been a part of the beauty industry since 1976. She started her career in her home state of Michigan and followed her dreams by moving to Encinitas, California in 1980 and opening her own salon. Being a stylist, salon owner, and educator for a professional brand is what she's passionate about. My dream was to have a team of like-minded people who work together to provide love and beauty to our clients. It is truly a gift that we get to give. Gayle is incredibly passionate about giving back to her community. She has been on the board for Child Help USA and is committed to helping end child abuse. Both her and her business, Headlines the Salon, are also involved with various charities such as Hello Gorgeous, which is very dear to her heart, and Hair to Stay. Gayle has been on the Professional Beauty Association PBA Advisory Council since 2018 and enjoys working with them on many beauty industry related causes. Gayle has 2 children and a grandson, Zach and Haley. Zach followed in her footsteps as a stylist, and her partner David Lind joined her in 2013, and together they share a strong passion for leading their team and for this beautiful industry. Hi, Gayle, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Kim. So excited to be here with you.
I know. I was looking at your bio, and I thought you forgot to add Declan in there.
I did have to update my bio because the bio was, over 6 months ago, and he just came into the world, into this crazy world in 2020.
I know it is, isn't it? But you know what? I'm so grateful for social media, because even with all this crazy stuff, we can still, stay connected. And I'm anxious to see if he grows into that full head of hair that child has. So
only a hairdresser's grandchild, correct?
That's right. That's right. So I'm so excited to have you here today. So I was remembering back. So I, of course, am in Indiana and you're in California. And I was trying to remember the story about how we got connected. And I think it was, so we had done a certification for a salon out in Maryland. And one of your employees had worked at that salon in Maryland and had said to you, oh my gosh, my former employer is doing this thing, this program. We need to do this. And so you reached out to us to learn more about Hello Gorgeous. And I think that's how that all came about. And that has to have been 7 or 8 years ago.
At least 7, 8 years ago. I was trying to remember exactly when too, but the story you just shared is absolutely true. It came coast to coast for recommendation. And I was fortunate to have you and Tricia come out and actually be there with us during the whole launch and the training. And it was just a fabulous weekend. I remember it. I just can't remember the date.
Yeah, I remember it being in August, but that's all I remember too. But like I said, I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago. So, and that was one of my fondest memories too, because, one of my, actually, we were just talking about you because, and you had commented on that photo of my son and I. And so we were in New Buffalo at the beach and we were standing on the beach. And I said, I went to this awesome restaurant with my friend Gayle and her boyfriend, David. And we were at Pacific Coast Grill and we watched the sunset. And you guys shared with me that you needed to make a wish as the sun went down. And you couldn't tell anybody. And so while we were on the beach last Thursday night, that's what I said. I'm like, okay, wait, we got to make a wish as the sun goes down. That's what I heard we were supposed to do. So yes, you were in my heart all the time. You just don't know it. But you are.
And that wishing when the sun sets, when it hits that horizon, it's always a special moment. So might as well wish for, whatever you need.
That's right. That's right. So talk to me a little bit, because I don't know this story. How did you know that you wanted to be a hairdresser?
I wanted to be a hairdresser because as I graduated high school back in the late 70s, I couldn't think of anything else. I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else. I've always been passionate about being with people, number one. Number two, getting emotionally tied to them, and what a better opportunity than to be a hairdresser, because, that's what we do. And third, I kind of liked making, doing hair, but it was really the connection with people that led me to, this over 40-year career, and I never looked back.
And how did you get from Michigan to California? Because I don't think I know that story either. I knew you came from Michigan, and when I met you, you were already in California, but I don't know how that all came to be.
Well, I was just tired of the weather, to be honest with you. And they had good sunshine and good wine in California, so I packed my car, and I had a fantasy to live by Moonlight Beach. Now, doesn't that sound romantic?
It does.
And so now, 33 years later, I own a salon that's 3 miles off the beach of Moonlight Beach.
Wow. And did you open that salon, or was that an existing salon that you worked at and then purchased it from the owner?
I did. I came out here and was fortunate to work at a salon for this woman named Barbara. And 4 years into it, she kind of said she was done. She was not a hairdresser. She was an investor. And I was lucky enough, and I do think it's part luck, part fate, part, praying. And I bought it from her. I got a great deal.
Yeah.
And have been a commission-based salon out here, like I just mentioned, for 33 years. So things happen for a reason.
That's right. And because you have been a hairdresser and, a salon owner, I know when I owned my salon, even just for the 10 years that I had it, the industry shifts that we've seen, that I saw even in those 10 years. So give me like 3 big things that you've seen happen, like the shifts that the industry has taken in the 33 years that you've owned the salon.
Wow. I think one of the big shifts, the big scare shift, was when, retail went elsewhere. We were all panicked that it was going to be a big thing, that retail was going to be sold in Sephora's and stuff. And that ended up not being true. If you're a true professional, selling retail is behind the chair. It's not at a drugstore. The other big shift came when, out here in California especially, was the independent contractor, booth rental, solo salons. It's a different way of doing business. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to see that it is a big deal. And then another big thing out here in California, big shift, was going into how we pay our employees. So that's where I passionately ran to be on the Professional Beauty Association, the PBA, 3 years ago, was to stay connected and stay educated and to help others kind of maneuver through all these changes. One of my biggest fears right now is deregulation. We can't really let that happen in our industry. And then I know you only gave me 3, but I'm going to give you 4.
Okay.
Right now, I'm truly experiencing, which all salons across the United States are experiencing, and this awful virus, this epidemic that's, just changing the lives of so many. I've just seen so many salon owners lose their businesses. I have 3 friends, 3 large salons out here that closed in March. And, we've just been shut down again less than a week ago here in California to this virus. So I think the biggest shift going on right now is, can you survive this pandemic? And what are you going to do to survive? After this call, I'm going to be organizing a Zoom call with about 6 other salon owners, and we're discussing things like outside hair cutting and not, and just, there's a lot of things going on in our industry right now that distracts us from our vision, which, my vision is to be connected and help other people, and it's help yourselves at this point.
That's right. Well, and I, I'm with you. I could not believe when I had seen that. My heart went out to you that day when they said that they were shutting down the salons in California again, because you guys were closed down the longest. I think were you down like 3 months the first time?
Yes.
Yeah. And so then for them to do it again, but yet I watched, like I saw what you guys were doing and checking temperatures at the door. Not only that, I think what they don't realize, and it goes back to your point of deregulation. We had to do 1,500 hours in beauty school. Sterilization and sanitation are all the things that we learned about. We know how to make sure that our clients stay safe because we do have that personal interaction with these people. But I watched you guys take it a step further. Number one, when you took the Hello Gorgeous training, because all of those things that you learned, the disposable liners for, pedicures and manicures and all of the disposable stuff for the facials and, the different things, you were already used to working with women with a compromised immune system. And then you took it one step further and we're taking temperatures outside. And so I'm with you. I don't understand why they would shut that down, the salon down. And I'm grateful that you, being the person that you are, that you're going to step up and ask these questions to find out what needs to be done, or again, how can we make this work? Great. We'll cut hair outside. Even if we can't blow it dry, at least we can get you cut, whatever that takes.
Yeah, it'll be the next controversy out here in California in the next week or so, and I want to keep this timely, this interview, but, it's going to be another way of splitting us up, because some people have to cut hair outside and some are like going, I don't feel professional outside. So it is hard. You're absolutely right. When it comes to sanitation, when we take our state board after our 1,500 hours plus, or whatever state you're in, it's 90% sanitation and 10% did you do a good haircut.
That's
Seriously.
Right. That's right. It really is.
I think that's the word that we need to share with our government officials and our state board, that saying that we do practice this at the top notch. We're right there below medical people, my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And I absolutely agree with you. And that's what doesn't make any sense. And, I was talking with somebody the other day about, and you remember, because we were cutting hair back in then late 80s, early 90s, when the AIDS epidemic came to the top of everybody's attention. And, it was, how was it transferred? And, we were dealing with sharp objects and we were dealing with, the secretions and was it, could you catch it from a bodily secretion and all of that kind of stuff. And then, now all of a sudden you think about it and AIDS isn't that big of a deal anymore. And so I'm really hoping the pandemic kind of does the same thing, where it fades away. We just have to withstand whatever it is. But I don't remember the government stepping in back then like they have now. And I think that's the hardest thing. Like, you guys are fighting to keep your teams together. You're fighting to keep your clients. Now you have to fight to keep your doors open. And I think that's what would be so frustrating to me. It's not just a matter of, you can keep yourself safe, you can keep your team safe, and you can keep your clients safe. But it's not fair that they have to go through and now you have to fight to keep the doors open. I think that would be tough for me. Yeah,
it's all really fear-based, isn't it?
Yes,
and
it is.
If they really can find out the facts, they would understand a lot clearer how it's just fear-based. We felt perfectly fine. All of my team, we felt 100% comfortable. We actually had 2 guests come into the salon over the 6 weeks we were open, that after a couple days after they left, they phoned in and said, we want to apologize, but we were just tested positive. We know it didn't come from your salon, but we needed to report to you. And like you may have heard in the media, no one in our salon was affected because we were practicing